Hello and welcome back to Saber Outdoors. My name, of course, is Mark Alexander, your wonderful host. And guys, today we are doing the Carpenter Hatchet Shootout. Guys, we've got several different kinds of Carpenter Hatchet, and I'm going to show each one of them to you very quickly, and then I will get to testing. So very quickly, let's look at our competitors. Guys, we have a brand baby spanking new hatchet from Columbia River Knife and Tool. This is the CRKT Coogan hatchet. Guys, this is brand spanking new. Now, it is in this particular set of things because it says on the packaging that it has a hammer on the back. Well, you got a hammer on the back, that's a carpenter's tool. So I'm putting it in this particular thing, break off my zip tie, and give this thing a look. Of course, I've not had it out of the package. You just saw me get it out of the package. So let's take this little, hate hatchets that come with these. These need to be these need to be abolished. I'll eventually get the words out. But guys, what kind of edge do we have? Not a very sharp edge, very convex edge. So this may not be the best chopper, but I bet this will be a really good splitter with that design that it has. You can see those cheeks on this particular hatchet are really, really, really large in comparison to the size of it. But that's our first competitor. Let's look at the next one. We have the Estwing. Whew. Oh, this is one that, like, aesthetically, it's very pleasing to me. It's got a really big edge on it. This is not a stock edge either. I have worked on it a little bit. It's got that nice smooth-faced hammer, nail puller with the steel handle and the anti-vibe grip. It feels really good either direction you're using it. Guys, I think I'm going to really enjoy using this today, if nothing else. I don't know whether it will win the day, but it does win my eye appeal. But the next thing also has a very good looking setup. This is the Hart hatchet from Walmart. This is Walmart's most expensive hatchet. I think, if memory serves, I paid $35, $40 for it. Go back and watch the video that I use this in, because this is Walmart's most expensive hatchet, and it's sold in the hardware section. So that's why I'm including it among these hatchets for carpentry, because it's sold in the tool section, not in the camping or outdoor or gardening section. This is a tool for carpentry, maybe even roofing. Lots of roofers might use this. But let's get this sheath off. It has loosened with time, so it is a little easier to get off and on. But we'll throw that down and get a look at it. Again, not a very sharp edge, but really good splitting cheeks on this. I think it'll be a really good splitter for us. Also has that metal handle and the rubberized grip. I don't remember if this was advertised as anti-vibe, but I'm sure that rubber grip helps everything. We're going to put this down and get our last competitor, the Hyper Tough. Guys, our control is back. Guys, it also has this little rubber thing on it that I hate, but I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to put it in my pocket and keep it forever. But this is the Hyper Tough 1 1/4 pound. This is not a carpenter's hatchet. This is a control to see if these are significantly better, different than a regular cheap hatchet. But guys, there are many things that I don't care for about this thing, but we're going to throw it in the testing and see what it's all about. And speaking of testing, let's get to testing. So what are we going to do first? Well, the first thing we're going to do, we've got us a kind of a brushy limb. You can see it's a little brushy on this end, but we have all the brushy parts kind of cut off of this right here, and we're going to take our hatchets and we're going to chop on this. But right now all you can see is me, so let me reposition so that you can see the work. All right guys, so you can see the work. I've kind of got a little bit of a hodgepodge of things put together here so that I can get it up. I have a block underneath, and I've got another block that this side's already been whacked off of in one manner or another. I'm going to chop this way because it'll take me a long time to chop through this way instead of chopping this way. So that's why I'm chopping this on the side of this log rather than the bottom. But let's move off of this big knotty hole here, and we're going to move to this section. It's pretty consistent for a little ways. We're going to give it 4 good chops and see if I can get through. If I get through before 4, I'll quit. But okay, we've got some decent penetration. We've got a bee trying to get after me. Decent penetration, didn't chip very well. Guys, let's up our count to it's up at 10. So we're at 4 now. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we've got something more significant to look at. So you can see we are most of the way through. If I needed to save my hatchet, I could break this off now with my foot against this stump. But we're going to leave it alone for the time being, and we're going to jump to this hatchet here, the Estwing, and we're just going to move just a few inches over so that they're relatively close to the same wood that we're chopping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm completely through. Guys, very good setup. I like using this. I trust it very, very, very much. Got a lot of weight behind it. Very nice setup. Let's get our next competitor up. So 6 is the number to beat. We're going to go past this little knot here, and I'm going to reposition so that I've got a good section to hit. So let's try right here. 10 shots. Do you think I'm going to beat it with this? Same? Worse? Let me know in the comments. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So guys, better than the CRKT. I think I got that wrong. Better than the CRKT, but not as good as the Estwing. 8 wax versus 6, so not as good, but still not the worst. Let me get myself set up here. And we have our control, and just like the others, we're going to use our control to give it 10 wax. As good a wax as we can give in relatively the same amount of wood that we've been hitting. So 1, 2. Woo! Looky there, looky there. I think the pure weight of this thing broke it in two, but guys, doesn't matter how or why, just matters it's in two. So oddly enough, the one that I don't like the most is the one that did the best. But guys, let's move on to our next test. All right guys, we're back here. We've got a little piece of wood that we would want to split. Maybe we're making kindling, maybe we're just doing it for the fun of it, who knows. But we're gonna split this off, and I'm gonna show you the technique. I'm gonna use the best one from the last test, but the one I like the least. But I'm gonna do that on this and show you kind of what's the idea. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come down on this, and we're gonna see how many times it takes to chop it in half. So is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? In this case, it was 3, but this is a little tiny chunk. I've got bigger chunks in order to test these out. But now that I've given you an example of what we're doing, let's actually do it. So first up is this piece right here, and we're going to keep the same order as we've been doing. So we're going to start with the CRKT, and we're going to hit this and see how many times it takes to split it. Guys, put down in the comments, do you think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Do you think it'll be able to do it at all? Spoilers, it'll get through. I got enough oomph to get it through. But guys, here's your last chance. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, 1. Did you see how beautiful that was? Guys, I told you those cheeks would be really nice for splitting, and you can definitely tell they are, because you can see that was one shot. One shot to get that in two from full size, and then just another couple of half shots for the littler size. Let me chop this other side up just to, yeah, really not nice feeling. And I've got the little rope on just to make sure I don't lose track of it. But guys, really nice feeling, worked really good. All right guys, we got another one here, and we're gonna smack on it with the Estwing. And I don't know if this will do as well on this particular test, but we're gonna give it a try and see. I don't think it'll do it in one, but let's see how many it does take. Pretty good. 2. Did it in 2. I can get it off. And let's set it sideways, and wonderful. Well, this one's got a knot in the side of it that I didn't see. Look there, big knot in it. So I'm doubtful it'll go through this very quickly. It's a surprise that it went through the other side as quick as it did. But guys, I'm gonna get through it. But that knot is definitely a factor. But guys, we're not gonna give it any kind of reprieve. It was 2. And I'm going to keep to that because that's the honest thing to do. Let's move on to our next competitor. We've got the Hart right here. We've got another piece right here, and it's a little bit taller. Actually, let me switch over to one of these other pieces. All right, this is the piece we're going to try our luck with the Hart, and we're going to make sure that you all can still see everything. So yes, you can, but we're gonna see how well we do. This does have a big obvious knot in it, so that might be a factor if you want to factor that in. But we're gonna give it a swack and see what we do. Okay, maybe it won't be a factor at all. 1, boom. Now I'm not gonna chop this side because of this knot. I think I'm just going to end up chopping my full head off, but I will work on this other side right here. See how it does. Well, it fell off, that's what it did. Not bad at all. All right guys, we got our last competitor here. It's the Hyper Tough. We're going to see how many whacks it takes to get through this right here. So, wow, just 1. Guys, can't hardly ask for any better than that. You make your decision, because some of them had knots, some of them didn't, but they all did the job, so can't fault them for that. In any case, I'll be back in a minute with another test. All right, guys, so we are back. We've got some smaller pieces of wood now, and the reason that we have these smaller pieces of wood is these are carpentry hatchets. So you would think that they would be better than average at shaping wood. So we're going to take each one and we're going to shape a point onto a piece of wood. Now, we're not doing this in the usual how many whacks does it take. This is a subjective thing. How do they feel in my hand? Do I feel like I'm about to lose them? Do I feel like that they're better choked up or at their very end? We're just testing how they feel as I'm using them. But we're going to take our CRKT, and we are going to put a point onto this piece of wood. Don't run off. I probably will speed this footage up and tell you how I felt about it at the end. Actually, let's dump that off. Okay, that's as much as I'm going to do on this. So how did it feel using it? Well, it wants to glint a lot as I'm working. It doesn't want to bite into the work very well, and that's partially because of how this grind is. It's a very, what's the word? Concave grind. But, you know, whenever you're hitting it, it doesn't want to cut deep and it doesn't want to cut a lot. but you can do it. You can see we've got something of a point that we could work with on this. But guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my next competitor, and I'm not even going to change pieces of wood. I'm just going to go to the other end so that I have as fair of a comparison as possible. Our next competitor is the Estwing, and we're just going to set it down and we're going to see how hard it is to get something like a point on this piece of wood. So all right guys, so even with that big knot that I had towards the end, I was still able to make progress and do my thing. It felt better in the hand to work with, and I thought it took less effort to make my cuts than my other piece. But guys, I'd say I'd put this one ahead of that CRKT. So right now, Estwing's our front runner. So let's get our next competitor and let's get us another piece of wood. All right guys, got our Hart hatchet right here. Got us a new piece of wood here. Let's see how it feels to put a point onto this. All right guys, that's as much as I'm going to do with this. Not as easy as the Estwing. Has the same problem as that CRKT. It wants to glint off of the wood rather than dig into it and cut. But you can see that's probably my least one. I'd say this did the worst out of what I've tested so far. But we got one more competitor. Let me grab it up and get it going. All right guys, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to switch ends. We've got our Hyper Tough right here, and we're going to whack on it and see how it does. Oh, you see this thing bunch. No, I'm not even going to finish this. Guys, this is by far the worst at shaping wood for sure. So, Estwing is the best. CRKT next, Hart next, and the last place is the Hyper Tough on this test. All right guys, so our next test, we got a box of nails. Now, these are carpentry tools, so what do you do with nails? You hammer them. Just as soon as I figure out where the opening is to open this box. I probably gotta cut some tape. Guys, let me cut this box open and get it going so that we can get this test moving. All right guys, so we've got our piece of wood here. We're just going to take each one of these Carpenter's hatchets. All of them got a hammer or some kind of hard pommel on the back, and we're going to see how they do just nailing a nail. Does it feel okay? Does it feel weird? Can I get it done without just bending the nail out? Not bad. Now, this doesn't have a nail puller, so I nailed it all the way in. It didn't feel awful. Didn't feel awful. Let's put another one in, see how that feels. So let's just get it started. Not bad. I mean, it can do the job. But that small face right there is definitely not my favorite. It's really small. You saw a couple of times I just flat out missed. But yes, it can do this. Let's see what we can do with the Estwing next. All right, so we've got our Estwing up here, and we're just gonna do the same. We're just gonna start it. That felt great in comparison. Not a problem with it. Didn't feel odd, and you saw that nail did not deform or deflect like the other one did. Let's put another one right next to it. Couldn't ask for a better deal. Hammers in really well. Feels good. Now this does have a nail puller in it, but I'm not going to test that because the rest of our tools don't have the same features as this tool. And so I don't want to test a feature on one tool and not the rest of them. All right, so we got our Hart here. Let's see how it does. So, ow. Ooh, not very good at all. I'm glad there's not a professional carpenter to see that, and it's pretty ugly. Feels really weird where this sweeps up. You know, this feels not very comfortable as a hammer. Not very comfortable at all. But I can get the job done. Now, guys, this one doesn't feel very good, but it was probably, I'd say so far this is the worst one because it's the one I did the worst job with. But I do have a bigger head than that CRKT, so third place, but only by a tiny amount. All right, guys, so I've got our control hatchet here, the Hyper Tough, and we're gonna whack with it real quick and see how it is. So. Not bad. That went in really well for me. Better than I would have expected. Guys, I'm going to give this second place. That was the easiest of the bottom three. Definitely still not as good as the Estwing, but a very nice outfit for sure. And it didn't feel as odd as the Hart. The Hart, I'm gonna have to put it in last place, guys. All right, guys. So I have all of our competitors here, all 4 of them. I've got every one of them here in front of me. So, guys, I've been ranking these through the video. Now, guys, I'm gonna have to say my favorite Carpenter's hatchet is definitely this one, the Estwing. Guys, it just far and away felt the best and did the best on the things that I needed it to do. It wasn't the best at everything, but it ranked highly at everything. So guys, today this is the winner. I'm gonna put on the video right here in this section the points. You know, I put one first, second, third, whatever. You know, I put everything like that throughout the video. So I'm going to total those points up for which one's the winner and the loser in reality. But as far as how I feel about things, it's the Estwing all day. Guys, the CRKT, I was surprised that it didn't do better at many of the tests that I thought it would do exceptionally well at. But guys, that's what you learn whenever you compare anything. You find out this one's good, this one's not so great. But I continue to be surprised at the little Hyper Tough hatchet. Does really good at things that I would not expect it to be good at. So this might be a sneaky favorite during these videos. If you're a long-time watcher, you know at first I talked a lot of smack, and I still have that mindset a little bit towards this, but it did really good, especially in the hammering nails test. That particular test, this really shined and got second place. But guys, that's all there is to this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Please hit the bell notification. Do all the YouTube things. I'm going to say it again because I think it's really important. Subscribe. We're pushing for 1,000 subscribers, and if you've made it this late in the video, you might have noticed there's animations when I say please subscribe, please like. So do those, please. In the meantime, though, thanks again for watching. We'll see you somewhere in the woods or on the water.